Hello, good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming to join me. I've had a few people ask me how I made this little folded journal. It's a good size because it can fit in a wallet. It's actually not my idea. This was first, well, I saw this from Artymaze, Andrea and I've made a couple of them. And this one is part of my giveaway. So this one's, once it's gone, it's my last one. So I thought it's a good opportunity to make a couple more and bring you along as well in the process. Now, as I say, this was Andrea's idea, so I will link her video below so you can have a look at how she did it as well. Okay, so the idea of this, and I use that to remind myself because I do get confused when I'm making this. It's made from just an envelope, window envelope. It doesn't have to have a window. This one does have a window in it. You can see it has a window there, sorry, just there, and then that's a pocket at the back. So you don't have to have a window if you don't want to, but I'm going to make it the same as this one. So it's up to you what envelopes that you have. So it's a normal envelope, needs opening up and cutting down in size. Depending on what you're doing, what you want it to go in, whether you want it to fit inside a journal or whether you're going to use it freestanding. So the size is completely up to you. So I've cut top and bottom on this one and opened it up. This one is about 7.5 inches tall. As I say, it's up to you what you do. And when you cut your envelope down, just remember that it depends what sort of envelope you've got. Some of them are shaped, so if you cut some off the bottom, you're going to alter the shape of it. So just to make that right, you would just put the corners together and just cut them both the same. And the same here. So I've had to cut one of the corners there, just so that it's not very good cutting, Carol. Just so that it's kind of the same. It's got some uniformity to it. And that had a sticky on it just there. Sorry, just trying to get all my bits and pieces together. So this piece here is going to be, this is why I like to have this in front of me so that I can follow what I'm doing. Here we go. So if we open this one out, this piece here, can you see this flap just here? That's that flap there. So that's going to be that piece just there. So I covered that in just some coffee dyed paper. But this one, I want to make a couple of grungy, I guess you may call them man style journals. I've got a few printouts. These are from Crafty Cat, Amy at Crafty Cat USA, and these are her Ruston numbers. So I just wanted to use these to make my journals. And I've also got some of the papers from tailor-made journals as well. So I'm going a little bit steampunky, and I will be printing Andrea's steampunk kit as well and just doing a mismatch of all the different papers. So this is to go with that. So I want to cover this to start with. You are going to see it because it's, as I say, it's this piece here. I put a pocket in there and I've put some papers in there, and that's been left plain. But honestly, it really is up to you how you're going to do it. You can cut, on Andrea's video, she's done a template where she cuts the window out so that, and then sticks one piece on. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to, I've decided that I am going to collage mine, just because that's the look that I want. I don't want it to be all the same. I don't want it to be one piece. The only thing that I would bear in mind when I'm collaging is where the crease is. I would want to make sure that my paper goes over that crease, and then any bits that I've got too big at the end of it, obviously I'll just trim down to the size of the envelope. So not being ever so fussy about where I'm placing them. I just want it to have that kind of look to it. So I'm just thinking there is this plastic just here, so I'm going to put just a little bit of, if I can get it to work, there we go, a little bit of this stronger glue, just where that cellophane is on the window envelope. So I hope you're all doing okay. Here in the UK, it's wet, it's miserable, we're still on full lockdown. Fortunately, my son has actually been told he can start back at work this week, so that's a big relief off of me, because as we said to him, much as we love him, we don't want him coming back home. He lives on his own, but he's back to work this week, so that's good. There we go. My daughter-in-law that does my nails, hence no nails, isn't working. She's obviously nail technicians at the moment, can't work, so she's not working. She's the main breadwinner, so that again is a worry. I think I like that one. I'm going to put that one across there. So as you can see, I'm not being too particular, as long as they are covering where I want them to be. And you're only going to see these in little snips of bits because of the design of this, so they're going to be on different pages. Yeah, so no kids at school, homeschooling, which I guess is a little bit hit and miss because it's not quite the same. Although I know my daughter, my granddaughter and my grandson are having fun doing their homeschooling. They do get to talk to the teacher on Zoom, but it's not the same, is it? They don't see the friends and mix. But hey ho, it is what it is. We keep saying it is what it is. Things can only get better. Vaccines are rolling out. There we go. These papers are lovely. I really like them. Really like them. And that, oh look, that just fits there nicely. Yep, so that's going to go, I might put it that way. No, I will put it that way. I don't know where Amy got these images from. I've got a feeling, that's a bit wider that way, isn't it? So it's going to go that way. I've got a feeling that she might have been out taking the photos to actually get these images. I just wanted to do something a bit different. I've just finished a garden journal using a really old book, and I will be doing a video on that one, and that was using Rachel Roxy Creations papers. And the book that I used is really old. It was 110 years old, so it needed quite a lot of TLC. The spine was completely broken, so I think I've done what you'd call an honest repair on that one. I wanted you to be able to see that it has been repaired, you know. Oh, that just fits nicely, doesn't it? And then I just need a little bit up here, don't I? Dark or light? I think I might go a bit of that blue, actually. I hope you can see okay. I'm actually using my phone for the first time. Been a bit frustrating with it, trying to get it. It keeps wanting to put everything on YouTube, portrait, not landscape. And so it's taken me a while to figure out how to get that all sorted. Hopefully this one will upload in the correct position. If it doesn't, you won't be seeing it, will you? Because it'll be upside down. I think I'll have that bit off just there. Okay, so obviously I hope you can see that is a little bit bigger than I need it to be, which is fine. I will just trim it down. And if you've used one piece of paper, that's absolutely fine. You know, just cut your window out. Different ways of doing it. I know Andrea shows how she did hers, cutting the window out. So if you'd rather do it that way and make a template, I think she used one of her envelopes actually as the template. Let me just grab my bin. Oh, that piece of paper stuck to my finger, doesn't want to let go. It can be fiddly trying to put your paper when you've all got glue on it actually over the window. It can be a bit trial and error, but as I say, it depends how you want to do it. The choice is yours. Nobody's going to tell you it's right or it's wrong. At least I hope they wouldn't. There we go. I might just trim a little bit off of there. There we go. I'm not going to bend it at the moment, but as you can see, because it's still wet, but as you can see, that is that little bit that goes on there. Okay, so that's that bit. So that is going to fold that way. You see that bit folds that way, and this is going to fold over that way. So what we need to do then is cover this, because this is going to have a pocket. Sorry, I keep reaching, don't I? This is going to have a pocket here. So there's a piece there and a piece there that goes on top. So that's the bit that we need next. So that is going to have to go across. Just put the lid on my glue. Sorry, I've not quite done a video like this before, so I hope it's not too bad for you. It needs to be a little bit smaller than here, because you're going to tuck something in. Just there. So it needs to be a bit smaller than that, but it needs to extend across there. So I think I'm going to do it, I don't know how big I'm going to do it. I guess 8 inches, so 7.5 by about 8. That should give me enough playroom, enough wriggle room to do it. So if I just put that out the way a minute. What do I want? Yeah, that'll be okay. So what did I say? I want it to be about 8 inches by 7.5. Yeah, I'll get that out of there. Just thinking whether I want, I quite like that wood. So I'm going to use that piece there. Save that bit for later. So let's get my width first. So I want it to be 8 inches. You can tell I was a quilter, can't you? With my quilting rulers. And this is how I measure my papers. 8.5, and it needs to be 7.5, doesn't it? And you know, if you cut it a bit out or it's a bit long, it's fine. You can trim it. You can add pockets to cover up where if you cut it a bit short. So don't worry about it. Oopsie. So that's going to be the back for me. So that's going to go on there like that. The thing to think about is you will see something through there. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to back it. So I am going to, and that'll just reinforce it as well, because the paper that I've copied this on, it is only copy paper. I think it's 80 GSM, so it's not really thick. So I'm going to put plenty of glue on there and stick it on. Obviously, if you've copied it, if you've used, excuse me, if you're using coffee dye paper that's got something on the back, that's all well and good. You'll see that through it. Or if you want to put an image or something, just bear in mind that whatever you have on the back of this paper, you will see. Doesn't want to stick, does it? There we go. You will see through it. Oh, excuse me. Sniffles today. It's really wet today in the UK, or it is here where I live anyway. Keep my bigger bits. Just cut that to the same size. There we go. Bits in the bin. Oops, keeps sticking to it, doesn't it? So let me just think. That's that way, so keep it, because the fold, that's the flap, that's going to fold just there, and that is going to fold that way, so it's going to be, sorry, it's going to be like that. Okay, so turning it over, so that is the right way up. Yep, so turn it over, and this is going to go on there, so it's going to go that way, and you're going to have that little bit sticking out there, because there you can have pockets. There's going to be a pocket just there. Yep, and that's this pocket here and this pocket just here. So this piece here of paper, not this, this here, is all one. Because I want it to be a pocket just here, I have a template, and this is the way that Andrea did it as well. I want it to be, have a little scoop in it so that I can put things in. And so all I've done is piece of paper that is 7.5 long, folded in half, and I've cut, look at, like a little scoop out there, and put that corner, you see, pencil, put that corner to corner, and just draw along there. Like that. Buried my scissors. Did anybody see where they went? There they are. Isn't it amazing how quick your table gets into such a mess when you're trying to do something? Especially when you're trying to video it. And I'm trying to go as quick as I can, because you don't want to stay here with me for ages and ages. You're going to be sticking an extension onto this piece here, so it's up to you if you want to put something in there. And I think I do. That doesn't show up too different, does it? Or maybe a nice piece of this number would be good. Yep, so I'm going to put a piece of that on there. Just up to that line, not past it. Just because I want something to cover that piece that I don't want to be seen. Again, if you want it, you know, you don't have to use a coffee dyed envelope, up to you. It depends what style you're looking for. Let's put that there a minute. So I'm going to put that there. Bearing in mind you don't want it to cover that window, Carol. Snip a bit off. And that's just because I don't want it to be seen the other side of the window. That's better, so I'm going to put it there and there. And you're only going to see that bit, so that's fine. You won't see my wonky cutting. Oopsie. I've got bits of paper stuck all over me. The bit that I always get confused with when I'm doing this is the orientation of it. So to keep remembering, that's going to fold that way and that's going to fold that way. So that's the pocket that's going there, and that's the pocket that's going there. That's fine and dandy. So I'm going to add glue down here just to hold it in place. I'm actually going to sew this one. If you don't sew, that's fine. Just make sure that you glue it good and proper, so it's not gonna come away. So I'm going to put that on there. I just want it to stick out that bit on the other side. You see if there's little bits showing, it doesn't matter, you can trim it off later and just level it up. And while it's still gluing, I just want a little bit of glue where that crease is going to be, just so things can't go all the way down. We don't want that, do we? Okay. Right, at this point I am going to go and stitch round this, so bear with me and I will be back with you shortly. Okay, hi, back again. So I hope you can see I've stitched all the way across the top there. I've gone round that corner and I've stitched all the way along there. So that's stitched that pocket onto there. So again, this is the way it's going to be. Okay, so you've got your pocket there, and that has the window in it, and you've got your pocket just there. The extra bit that goes on, that is, bring this back, this piece that goes underneath, there's the flap of your envelope. So that's like that. So now we need to add this piece on, okay? Again, it's up to you. If you're using double-sided paper, then you're good to go. If you're using single-sided paper, you know, just bear in mind that you're going to see it on the other side. Okay, so I've got this piece here that I've backed. So this is just two pieces. It gives it that little bit of stability. And this is, again, it's the height of my envelope, which mine is 7.5. And then width-wise, it's about 6 3/4, this one. And I'm just thinking whether I want that to go that way or whether I want it to be that way. I think I want it, if it's that way, it's going to get stuck under there. Yeah. So this is why it can get confusing trying to twist things around and see where they're going to go. That is going to go on there. One thing just to mention, as on this one, on this piece here, which is this bit that we're adding, I've put some journal papers. So bear in mind that this is only paper, so I've added a piece of fabric on the outside, and I've done that in a bit, not at this point here. If you've got Tyvek, you can put Tyvek in, but it's those points that are folding that you may want to add. So I've got 3 bits of fabric. I've got one there, and one there. So all the bits where it folds, I've added fabric to it. So that's just something to bear in mind that you might want to do. So I'm going to add this piece on here. All I'm doing is a bead of glue down there. And I'm going to put that, can you see? I'm going to put that on there, matching it top and bottom. But I am leaving a little space because I am leaving a bit of space, if it'll let me. Yeah, because that's a fold. That flap is going to want to fold. So that will fold over like that. So in a minute I will sew down there to keep that in place. But it's going to be a flap. So what you want to do is fold it over, but not all the way to there. Sorry, I got that string in the way. If you see on this one, it's folded over, but I've left maybe 1/2 inch there, just so that it doesn't interfere with that. So, and then of course you don't want it to stick out further than that here either. So I think I don't want to crease that gentleman's face because I like him. So he is going to go about like that on there. So that gives me that flap. You can put journal papers in there if you want to. You can put pockets on it. But that is basically your envelope. Okay. On this piece here, now obviously I've glued it down there, so I don't want to pull it open. but I want to put a tag for the closure. So that's this piece here. And I think I want to put him on it. So I think if I cut it just before that 7, or just, did I say just before the 7? Yeah. I'll keep these little extra bits because they can be used. And I like that 5. Do I want to cover that 5 up? I think that actually needs to be that little bit shorter, doesn't it? A smidgen shorter. I think I'm going to stitch it on like that actually. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to round these ends. And that's going to go on there. I could put it under there and stitch down and glue it on there. I think it still needs to be a bit shorter. I'm being indecisive, aren't I? I want it. There we are. I think I am going to put it underneath there actually. So I'm going to stitch, I'll restitch it down there. I'm going to stitch it down there, so that piece of paper. So bear with me, I'll be back shortly. Okay, hi, back again. So now you can see I've restitched it down there. I've stitched it down there. So that is now a flap. Okay. An eyelet will go, excuse me, reaching. I'll use a copper one. Put an eyelet in here. For the closure. Yep, that way around. Does anybody else have to think really hard when they're using these eyelet crocodile? So that's a nice eyelet in there. So that will be my closure. That opens up, flaps like that. We have a pocket just there. Nice. You can put pockets on there. So I've got this that would make some nice pockets. So that's going to go there, and that will be an extra. I think I'll have that as a double pocket. So I'll put that on there now. Straighten that edge up slightly. Sorry, I know this is a long video. I do apologise. I know people don't like to be kept too long, but it's quite hard to do this any quicker. A little bit off there. So that's going to go on there, and I think that's going to be a double pocket on there. Get my little clips, and I will finish this off camera, and the next video that I do, I will show you what it's done. So that's going to be glued probably roughly in the middle there. That'll be 2 pockets. There's a pocket just there. I could put a pocket here as well if I want to. Signature will go in there. So that will have, I've got some papers. So that will have papers, obviously too big, but that will have papers go in there. This is the front again that opens up. So you can put more journaling space in here if you want to, and you've got your pocket there. And just remember, whatever you put in that pocket just there will, what can I show you with? Just put that in there. It shows through. So if you want something, can you see that? That just shows through there. So I'm really pleased how that's turned out. I hope it makes sense. Once you've made it, keep one as a template just to refer back to. But that is how, if I could find it, oh, it's here hiding, look. That's how I made this. And as I say, the fabric goes down any fold that you've got, just to reinforce it, because it is only paper. You put your fabric. Okay? Any questions, please do ask, and I will link Andrea's video down below. Thank you so much for spending half an hour with me. I really appreciate it. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.